Ask someone in love to list everything wrong with the person they love. They can. All of it. The temper, the silence, the thing they always say at parties. And when they have finished, they love them exactly as much as they did before. Welcome to the Curator's Atelier. I keep the things worth remembering, the strange, the buried, the true. Tonight, love, and the stranger truth of what your eyes are doing when they rest on someone you love. Come closer. Let me show you. One lens is clear. One is rose. Everyone assumes the rose one is the fault. Nobody has ever asked me why a maker would grind two lenses that disagree, set them in one frame, and expect a person to look through both. Hold that thought. You have been asked the question. A friend, careful, over a drink. What is it you see in them? And you open your mouth and cannot get it out. The things that would explain it. How they stand in a doorway. What their face does before they laugh. Do not survive being said aloud. Or a photograph you love, becoming an ordinary picture of an ordinary person in someone else's hands. So you stop trying. You keep the description where it works and let everyone believe what they like, which is that you are not seeing clearly and that one day you will. The easy answer is that love is blind, that it works like a coat of paint. Feeling goes on over the person, hides what is underneath, and one day it wears through. But that answer is too small, and you can feel where it fails. It cannot explain the list. You already know their faults, in detail, better than your friend does, and the knowing has not moved the feeling an inch. Paint does not work like that. Something else is happening. Something with two parts. Close one eye, now the other. Now open both. Here is what your eyes are actually doing. Researchers gathered up the studies, 98 of them, on how well people read the person they love. What they found is not what the old saying can hold. You are accurate, substantially so. What you believe about them tracks what is true. Then, separately, they measured something else. Not whether you are right, whether you lean, whether your reading sits above where anyone else would put it. It does. Slightly. Persistently. A small, steady tilt on the whole of them, and it does not cancel the accuracy, because it was never the same measurement. Two channels, both real, running at once. So here she is, as you hold her, twice. One drawn exactly, one drawn kindly. Neither is the real one. Neither is a lie. Watch them come together. Apart, each is thin. The exact one is a record, correct, complete, and nobody has ever loved a record. The kind one is a wish, and a wish has no weight. But bring them close and let them not quite match, and she stands up off the page. Stop on that. The dimension is in neither picture. It is made out of the gap between them, out of the fact that they disagree, and that you are holding both anyway. That is what nobody else in the room can see. Not because your eyes are better, because they were handed one of the pictures. 844 people, all of them with someone. Half were asked to describe in their own words what was wrong with their partner. Shortcomings, faults, the real list. The other half were asked nothing. Then both halves were measured. Closeness, desire, commitment. Nothing moved. The two groups came out the same, and tested a second way. That sameness held as a real finding rather than a failure to find anything. Naming what is wrong with them does not cost you the feeling. With one exception, and I will not bury it at the end. Among those who described something severe, being cheated on, being hurt, love did measure lower. That came out of what people wrote, not the experiment proper, so hold it loosely. But hold it. It matters later. So the tilt is not damage. Then what is it for? Couples were followed, dating and married. The ones who saw each other most generously reported more satisfaction and less conflict. And theirs were the relationships still standing years on. And the order ran the way you would not guess. Generosity first, contentment after. Measured though, not assigned. So I can tell you what went with what, not what caused what. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling. There is no version of trusting a person that the evidence fully justifies. There is always a gap. The tilt is what you cross it on. There is one more thing it does, and it is the one that unsettles me. Early on, before either had decided anything, she described him to a friend, and the description was a size too large. She said he was patient. He was not, particularly. She said it because it was what she saw. He heard it. Couples were tracked across a year, measured 3 times, and people began to match the picture. Held generously, they moved toward the generous version. They came to see themselves the way they were seen, which the researchers put better than I can. Love, they wrote, is not blind. It is prescient, not magic, not fast. A year of being described a size too large until the description stopped being. And now the part all of it stands on. Watch what happens when one goes out. Take the exact one away. Leave only the kind one. Look at her, still bright, lovelier, arguably, nothing to contradict her now, and flat as paper, and nobody. That failure has a shape, and you can see it coming. There is a family of beliefs that live in exactly that flatness, that love conquers everything, that the right feeling survives anything done to you. Studied in young women asked how they would answer being hurt by a partner, those beliefs went with reading control as devotion and cruelty as passion. Hear the limits, because they are the point. That research asked what people said they would do, not what anyone did. One country, one age, one set of expectations about men and women. And it is not the same as loving a real person generously. Nobody has shown that seeing someone kindly is what keeps anybody anywhere, and I will not imply it. What I am telling you is narrower. Warmth with nothing accurate underneath stops being sight at all, and becomes a very good place to hide something. Both lenses, or neither. So, both. How? There is a shape that came out of following newlyweds for 3 years, and it is more useful than be positive. The ones doing well did not think their partner was flawless. They were generous about the whole, and clear-eyed about the parts. One caution, because the study found it, and I will not hide it. That link showed up for the wives, and not for the husbands. Nobody is certain why. A shape that held for some of the people, some of the time. An edge, not a rescue. You were never being asked to decide whether they are wonderful or difficult and defend the answer. Watch. The two of her held apart, and the exact one moves, not away, toward. Adore the whole, know the parts, and let the gap do the thing only it can. I said nobody asks why a maker would grind two lenses that disagree. Here is what I think. One lens is not seeing a person, it is filing them. Clear alone, and you have an inventory, every fault in its place, and no reason on earth to stay. Rose alone, a portrait of someone who does not exist, and one day they do something a person does, and it breaks. Two, and something stands up that neither could hold alone. They will tell you love is blind. It is not. It is the only place a person is looked at twice at once. Once exactly, once kindly, and comes away more solid. I'll keep these here with the things worth remembering. Both lenses facing the room.